All right, y'all. I want to remind everybody to go ahead and subscribe to my secondary channel, Relax with Blue. I'm doing vlogging over there. If you missed the Girlfriends episode 3 and 4 or Salt Lake City episode 2, all of those will put on that channel so I can get that channel monetized sooner, just in case something happened over here. As you remember, I had a copyright issue, which has been resolved, but I still want to make sure that both channels are getting engagement. So will you guys please go over to Relax with Blue and subscribe to that channel as well. I will be vlogging there for Vlogmas. Okay, so that's where all the vlogs will be. This will continue to be review channel, and the vlogs will happen over there on Relax with Blue. So see y'all over there for that. And I just started Hip Hop Tabata 1 and 2, you guys. The 21-day challenge to keep you in shape and in check during these holidays, y'all. Okay, it just started today. It's not too late to sign up. Y'all know, hit my link down below and sign up. Also, don't forget about TLC products, y'all. I swear by the Nutriverse. I swear by that tea, y'all. Okay, when your stomach is going through some issues and you need to get it together, especially if you've been eating all this holiday food, get you some tea, honey. Get that all cleaned up. Y'all use my links down below for everything else. Firmu for the glasses, Pretty Little Thing. But anyway, get down below and check out all the links. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another Iyanla Fix My Life, y'all. This episode was very good. This was LisaRaye, you guys. It was LisaRaye and her mom and her daughter Kai. Okay, now they've been on reality TV before, LisaRaye and her daughter Kai. So I have somewhat of a perception of them that, based off Iyanla tells me, that they was putting on airs in fronting when they had their reality show, making it seem like LisaRaye was so affectionate and loving to Kai, when on this episode it seems as if she wasn't nurturing at all. Like, that's what she said. She was like, I wouldn't, say that you were nurturing. And I was just like, you wouldn't say that your mom was nurturing, honey? I just feel like that says a lot about the dynamic of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? But either way, okay, it doesn't just start and stop with Kai and LisaRaye. Oh, no, no, no. The Queen Mother, LisaRaye's mama. Listen, LisaRaye is the epitome of her mama, and I don't think she gets that. She has softened her approach, because I don't think her life was as hard as the Queen Mother's life probably was. You notice how we never got the mama's real name, okay? So we calling her Queen Mother and LisaRaye's mama throughout the review, okay? But there is a sharpness and a bite to LisaRaye that I see when I look at her mother. So LisaRaye, is upset with her mom and trying not to be her mom, but in essence actually is her mom. And the same thing for Kai, trying not to be like LisaRaye, having some feelings of resentment towards LisaRaye, but still kind of turning out to be like her mom in one way or another. Maybe not in a successful part, maybe not in the knowing what I wanted to do and going after it part, because Kai is 30 years old with a child and she lives with her mother. So, that says a lot. We thought she was going to model. She's beautiful. I guess that's not what she wanted to do. She doesn't know what she wants to do, and it's because she doesn't know who she is. LisaRaye's whole family is a whole bunch of women who don't really know who they are. And that's sad. And it's amazing, you know what I'm saying? That when you don't know who you are as a woman and you have children, you then pass that down to them. So the mom passes it to LisaRaye, LisaRaye passes it to Kai. It shows itself in different ways. See, LisaRaye had a daddy who was business minded and wanted her to be the queen pin of whatever their business is. Somebody said they had a popcorn business. Sound like, some type of prostitution situation going on as far as I'm concerned. We're not really going to get into it. We're going to keep calling it the family business. But there seemed to be some illegalities involved in whatever was going on. Okay, the daddy seemed to have his business life all in order. And LisaRaye's mom was with him and stayed with him and made it a point to mention how good LisaRaye and her had it because of his money. She stayed in an abusive relationship with LisaRaye's daddy for the money. And then you turn around and hold LisaRaye accountable and blame her for the sacrifices you made, but those were your choices. And a lot of people, do this. They feel like because they, made sacrifices for their children, that their children owe them something. And it's like, no, honey, that's not how any of this goes. You had a child. A child did not ask you to have them. So therefore, you being a good parent and making sacrifices, that's a part of what it is to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. So once you have done that, you don't get, kudos for doing what you were supposed to do. Like, I'm just saying, y'all, I feel like the mom wants kudos or something for doing what she was supposed to do as a mother. And listen, the decision you made to stay in a marriage with a man that cheated on you constantly and abused you and then turned your daughter, your only child, against you. Yes, sis, that was your decision. That was your decision. And it was also your decision to allow him to get in between you and your daughter by creating this environment of LisaRaye kind of, coming off like a girlfriend instead of like a daughter to a mom and a dad. You know what I'm saying? But more so, my daddy, if I just wanted something, I would call my daddy. My mama would be so mad and say to me how, you just gonna call your daddy and you gonna have everything because your dad. Listen, that daddy was some damn manipulative. And if he was here today, I'd curse his ass out. Okay? Rest in peace, of course. But what type of man, what type of man would get into the psyche of his very impressionable daughter who loves him deeply and use that love as a weapon against her mother so that he can keep control of everybody? Because that's what that was about, control. I was on live today on Instagram and I was just talking about how, I feel like whenever men try to separate women from hoes, it's them trying to control women and control how we should be in the world. So it makes you feel like you get to have your wives and your girlfriends and they're clean, but then you create this sector of women who are hoes who you go and cheat with and do all your nasty stuff with, and then you call them beneath you after you done laid down with them. You know what I'm saying? How is someone beneath you when you just let them get on top of you? Make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? You just shared your body with them, and now you want to turn around and act like they're beneath you. They're the problem. Oh no, good sir. The patriarchy is a mug, okay? Because that's the crazy thing to me. How they will turn it all around and make the woman the one that's messed up. Like, even in a scenario of LisaRaye's mom, you were the one that was abused. You were the one that stuck around, I guess, because you thought that her having a two-parent household was better than, you being single. But to me, you might as well have been single. It wasn't like he wasn't doing what the hell he wanted to do. And it was obvious that he was going to be there for his daughter, whether y'all were together or not. So I think the mom just needs to accept the fact that you ruined your life running behind a man who, didn't really love you or mean you any well. That's your fault. Accept that. She was running from picking cotton in Mississippi and, I didn't know no better, and your daddy and what he did to me and I was under his control. No, you wasn't. You wasn't under his control. Okay? You wasn't under nobody's control. You was doing exactly what you wanted to do with the information that you had, which was not a lot. And that's not your fault. But it is your fault that you allowed a dead man, because he's dead now, okay? But you continue to allow him to bring you to this area of anger. He is dead and gone. And as a woman, you still don't know who you are enough to deal with this issue and to not let it infect the relationship between you and your daughter. That says a lot about not having self-awareness. And Iyanla brought up a great point during this episode that the daddy did that, manipulated them and turned them against each other so that they would not be in touch with their womanness and their knowing. Because if you're in touch with your intuition and your knowing and you trust your own feelings ahead of somebody else's, then you're going to smell bullshit and you're going to say, hey, this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But when a woman is off kilter and trusting that this man knows best and I'm going to follow what this man says because he's my daddy, or I'm going to follow what this man says because I love him and he my man and he my husband and all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like we allow people to run us or tell us how we should live our lives instead of using our own intuition and what feels right for us, which is what we should always do at the end of the day. Not for a man and not for the concept of a family, okay? But I do feel like people should always make sacrifices for the children that they decide to have, because children don't ask to be here. You laid down and had a child, so you have to take responsibility for that child. Period. At one point throughout the episode, Iyanla changed her clothes because she felt like she wasn't getting anywhere with them because everybody's paying attention to the cameras. So she changed into her priestess headdress and come out and, give y'all a little bit of a different perspective. She starts to sing, Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna tremble the water. Heal my body, not my soul. God's gonna tremble the water. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway. So at this moment, Kai starts to get emotional. And it's because she doesn't cry. She is so detached from her emotions. LisaRaye taking on the bitterness a little bit of her mom, but really taking on the control of her father, took the control away from Kai to now Kai doesn't know who she is. 30-year-old woman, and her mom is sitting up here talking about she's immature and she doesn't know how to handle herself and that's why she's living with me. No. No. That don't fly, okay? Because to me it sounds like you are saying what you want to be true. She's a 30-year-old woman that's laying down with a man and had a baby and all of this shit. She is old enough to get out there and get it out the mud for herself. You are enabling her. You have ripped her of her womanhood because you don't have your own. Not really. You do, but not really. Like, it comes from that place of not knowing, just like your mama, and longing behind a man who you don't even realize, honestly, affected your life in a negative way by creating this situation between you and your mom. Like, he's dead and gone, and all you can remember is how great he was, and you're left with the bitter taste of what has happened with your mother, not realizing that your mom is somebody who, like yourself, doesn't like to take accountability for her own actions, but ultimately is somebody who doesn't have the tools to deal with what life has given them, basically. You know, and that's unfortunate. I also feel like there were a lot of things not being said. That mama has some more that happened to her. Okay. They may not have talked about it, but there were some other things that I feel like had to have taken place. And I needed more clarification for us to understand. But for this lady to be so angry and so mad the way she is right now, after this man been dead for what, 20, 30 years now, 30, 40 years almost. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. And the daddy ended up getting stabbed by one of his girlfriends, not even in whatever business he was in, not in these streets, but because of a woman. And LisaRaye blames her mama because her mama kicked him out. How terrible is that? It's your daddy's fault that he got stabbed because he was a hoe and he went around handling his personal business without any care or reverence for the emotions of the women that he played around with. Which is why you and your mom's relationship is shit, because of his influence on you and her. It's not all his fault. Your mom has some responsibility in that. You have some responsibility in that. But ultimately, this is a man who never really showed real care with the relationships he had with women. Because if he did, he wouldn't have dogged your mama out like that in front of your face. Like when she was saying how LisaRaye went to live with him and his girlfriend while he was still married to the mama, I was just like, what the hell is goings on? Like, that's so disrespectful that you don't feel, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel any loyalty to your mother. That, you know, but I also feel like that's probably the mama's fault also. You know what I'm saying? As far as how she, you know, acted towards Lisa. You can't treat somebody like shit because of a man and then expect them to grow up and have all this affection and love for you. They might love you and do what they have to make sure you're okay, but that doesn't mean that they will look at you in the same way that they adore their father. You know what I'm saying? Who they feel like isn't as mean or crass, when really what he was doing was worse, because it was underhanded and draped in sugar versus your mama just being straight up with it. And I think that by the end of the episode, the mom really had to sit with the fact that not only was this your fault because of the woman that you are and how that affected your daughter and your granddaughter and therefore your great-grandchild, but also that you allowed that man's manipulation to control how you felt about your own child. That says a lot, man. That's real heavy. That's real heavy, y'all. Kai. So when Kai was in high school and LisaRaye's career really kicked off, she wasn't home a lot, and Kai rebelled, had an attitude, was acting a fool, cutting class. Lisa didn't know what to do, so she sends her to, like, you know, a boarding school. And when she gets there, she realizes that she doesn't belong there, that her mom sent her away Mind you, the mom ain't never there in the first damn place. That's a part of the problem. So your response to me reacting to you not being around is you sending me away to stay with the meth head daughter. Oh, all right. Oh, all right. Yeah, that wasn't the appropriate response. However, I understand that LisaRaye may not have known how to handle the situation or felt that she had the time to deal with it because that career was popping. And that's unfortunate, but it has allowed for Kai to be a 30-year-old woman still living in her mama's house. Okay, comfortably, I might add. She also wants the comfortability that her mom has, but has no idea how she will get it for herself because she don't want to be an actress. I like the way Iyanla this episode was really trying to handle LisaRaye's mom with kid gloves, coming at her, letting her know you are my elder. I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to disrespect you, but you have anger issues. You are bitter. You are not accountable, and you are entitled, and you need to deal with that. All right. I love when Iyanla came at her with that real shit because I'm like, people need to hear that because there are so many people that you tell them something that's wrong with them and they won't tell you what's wrong with you. Well, damn it, we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about you. So through the years, I believe that LisaRaye has put so much pressure on Kai that Kai feels like if she were to step out into this world, she cannot possibly fall on her face. Like when Kai sat down with Iyanla, it was so telling. Like they never want to admit what's actually happening. Oh no, it's just my lashes. I'm not crying because I have all this emotion. I'm just crying because of my lashes. Like, girl, please. We all have lashes, sis. And ain't nobody talking about your lashes. Okay, we're talking about what's going on deep inside of you. Okay, how you can sit here and tell me that it didn't hurt you when you didn't miss your mother when she was gone when you were a child. Like, bitch, that's the problem. That's the issue. Okay, but something tells me that you really did feel that way, but the coldness of which you were raised, you weren't allowed to feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And I think she was so angry and still angry at Lisa for sending her away. So she cut that feeling off. Like, bitch, I missed you and you come home and send me away. She don't want to deal with that. I think that will bring out a lot of anger in Kai. And Kai's way of handling her anger is to not deal with it at all, to push it all down and be passive aggressive about the shit. Must be exhausting on the inside. She looks tired. As beautiful as she is, her energy is so worn down because of the way she has been handling her life thus far. LisaRaye doesn't recognize that Kai is broken. She says she sees the immaturity. She sees the lack of get up about her. But she doesn't realize that through her, own issues, she has basically created a woman who doesn't know who she is. And that is very sad. LisaRaye also discusses how when her mom took over the family business after the dad died, that she used that as a way to get back at LisaRaye for being a daddy's girl. So when that happened, Lisa was like, well, I can't depend on you. I got to go out here and get it out the mud. So that's what she did. She went and got it out the mud for herself. And that's when she got pregnant with Kai. And she had to do what she had to do. When Iyanla talks to everybody separately at one point or another, they seem to want to argue with her about what she's saying. Lisa doesn't want to admit that she's like her mom. Her mom doesn't want to admit that you decided to stay with that damn man that dogged you out to, the point that you didn't got your daughter with you while you going from woman's house to woman's house. That's emotional manipulation. You trying to turn your child against her daddy because you mad at your man. Those are two different roles that he plays, and you don't need to get yourself caught up in the other. There's a lot of things that people need to realize, okay? You have children with somebody, but your relationship with that person becomes a separate entity from their relationship with their child. And you need to remember that, specifically if y'all are no longer together or y'all have issues in y'all relationship, that whatever is going on with y'all does not need to be a part of the child situation. So mama, if you mad at daddy, don't take it out on daddy by withholding the child from him. Stop that shit. Okay? I also really like when Iyanla told LisaRaye her daddy's love was inauthentic. I love that because I feel like that was real. He was manipulating you. How can you say that the love was pure? There was so much love from your dad when if he had really loved you, he would not have tried to ruin the relationship that you had with your mother. And the way he set that up definitely makes me think that LisaRaye's daddy was a pimp. So at the end of the episode, Iyanla had them all sit down with yes and no cards because they like to talk and run their damn mouth in order to not be truthful about what the answer to the question is. She just gave them yes or no signs. And when they get to the part where Lisa has to admit that she agreed with her mom that she wished it was her mom that was dead instead of her daddy. That shit was a lot. That shows that y'all have had, as Iyanla said, a perverse relationship because of the way the daddy manipulated y'all when he was alive, because that is despicable to feel that way about your mother, that you would, wish that she would be the one that had died instead of. Why do people do that shit? That's so weird to me. That's so weird to me, to wish that one parent had died instead of the other. I know that that's a natural feeling that people have when they lose a parent, but I just feel like, yeah, no, I'd rather not lose either one of you, to be honest. Iyanla says that LisaRaye was functioning as another woman in the daddy's harem instead of being his daughter. Creating this competition between her and her mom really ruined their relationship, which is why LisaRaye's relationship with Kai is also, falling apart or not healthy or whatever, And I also liked at one point when Iyanla talked to LisaRaye's mom and told her that all of the negative things you see about Lisa and Kai are things that go on within you. Not being accountable, okay, being entitled, you know what I'm saying? All those things, being angry, all of those things are things that translate among them all. And when Iyanla was like, I had to realize for the past 5 hours, I've been working with the same person. So eventually, she just comes to the conclusion that they're not ready. They're going to have a major breakdown happen in order for them to really want to change, for them to really want the help. Because right now, they're all saying no to everything Iyanla says. So there wasn't any real healing, but there was some acknowledgement and some aha moments. So hopefully they can reassess this situation. And LisaRaye wants to come back. So I'm sure her and the brat will make an appearance on the show. But ultimately, I don't want to see y'all on here if y'all are not going to really do the work. Stop wasting y'all time. Stop wasting our time. Stop wasting Iyanla's time. Because I'm sure that there's somebody out there who needs her help that would actually listen to what she has to say, instead of thinking she's so smart until they get there and realize that if she says something that doesn't coincide with how they feel about the situation, she's wrong and she don't know what the hell she's talking about. Obviously, you wrong because you haven't been able to fix your situation this whole time on your own. Just saying. But anyway, I enjoyed the episode. I know y'all did too. It spoke a lot about LisaRaye and what probably is going on deep down inside. Even though she tries so hard not to be this bitter, angry woman, there is probably a lot of that still, underneath it all. I do feel like she's softer than her mom, thank God. But the way Kai has detached emotionally is so weird to me and so dangerous to me, because I don't know how that's going to show up. Somebody that's always putting all of their negative, feelings underneath them, all deep inside, until one day that shit's come, flooding out somewhere, spouting out of a hole, child, who knows, all right? But either way, I'm definitely interested to see what else, we gonna get from LisaRaye, since she loves to have herself, in the spotlight these days, you know what I'm saying? I ain't mad about it. I'm just saying, I just talked about you, what you said about Halle Berry, and then they say she ain't say it. I'm like, child, I don't even care. I don't even care, okay? But y'all check out that live I did where I talked about Summer Walker and LisaRaye, okay? I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.